start again. It's a rich thing.
Hey y'all, this is Tasha. I am back with another video. Thank you so much for stopping into my channel, y'all. We are getting to the final legs of the Never Ever Mess, and thank you, baby Jesus. Okay, before we jump into the episode, welcome. If you are new here, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button below, comment in the comment section, thumbs up the video. If you are not new, welcome back. Let's keep the party going down in the comments. Okay. This episode was really boring to me, and I'm already tired from vacation and the work week that has kind of drugged me. Okay. And this episode, I feel like they could have, I guess, because I feel like the last episode was so jam-packed, maybe you should have split some of that into this episode, because this episode was just, it was pretty boring for the most part. But y'all, we just gonna round this all out in these last two episodes. So let's jump in and talk about it, okay? Season 1, episode 9 of the Never Ever Mess. This episode picks up where the other one left off with, y'all know, Dr. Allie was outside talking to Jody and Aaron. She asked to talk to Jody alone because she peeps what is happening with Jody not knowing the questions to none of these answers. Everything she is asked is, I don't know, maybe. I mean, I guess if we keep going, yeah, girl, stop. So the therapist asks her if the relationship is worth pursuing. Jody is like, I know you now. You got to talk to the problem child by herself. Girl, we not playing victim. The therapist just sees you for who you are, okay? She tells the therapist that she feels this relationship is worth pursuing. And y'all, you know how your mom used to tell you if you roll your eyes, they're going to get stuck in your head? I feel like I was rolling my eyes hard enough, they was going to get stuck in my head. Because Jody, for once, be honest with somebody, okay? You know this relationship is not pursuing, girl. She admits that she is a difficult and complex person, and because Aaron accepts her, she wants to stick beside him, essentially, which is no reason to stick beside somebody just because, oh, I'm difficult and complex and I rarely found people that are able to accept me. So since this one person does, this is what I'm going to settle for, although I'm not attracted to him. Make it make sense, Jody. She asks Jody if she accepts him. And of course, she's very vague. She thinks that we just keep talking, keep doing what we do and getting to know each other. Okay. Lies. All right. She says that marriage, tells the therapist again that marriage is a business because after the love, there needs to be something that kind of keeps them together. And the therapist is asking her like, well, why do you think the love won't be there? Ultimately, her mom had a failed marriage, and I agree with the therapist when she tells her, so now you're basing your relationship off of a trauma response based on your mom. Jody has real healing she needs to do from her childhood and from her own life experiences that she has had. She needs help. She starts to cry because she's becoming exposed at this point of what her true issues are that she's been trying to hide. Aaron goes back inside. The men are asking him if it went well. He's saying basically now it's kind of up to Jody and she's working on her opening up. Dr. Allie tells Jody that there's a lot of work that needs to be done because Jody is really trying to convince herself that she only wants the business of a relationship, but she really wants the love that she feels like she can't get. Jody cries and says, you know, all of these are the emotions that she has tried to avoid because crying and tears aren't safe. But she admits that she had written off a fairy tale love, but deep down inside, that's what she wants and she feels she deserves it. Jody says she's learning a lot about herself through this experience, and it has really accelerated everything in regards to a relationship. And she says she has a lot of work to do on herself. Yeah, girl, you do. And I'm glad you have figured that out about yourself, and I hope you have gotten or will get the help that you need. But this is at the expense of somebody else. This is not just you that's having to endure this and actually, you know, have to deal with emotions of what you're going through. Aaron has to deal with that as well, girl. And again, the fact that she can really recognize these things and she can point out these things, I don't understand why she has not gotten therapy a long time ago. I really don't. Anyway, it is the next day and it's Greg's birthday. We all know Millie has a surprise plan for him, but she's going to take him to dinner first. We also then have Taronda. She comes in and she's talking with Shay and Josh for a check-in. Taronda asks, what are they doing after this is over? They said they're going to figure out if they want to live together. They are considering moving to Texas. Neither one of them said they have lived with a partner before. They haven't been married. But also I was like, isn't Josh roommate with the baby mama? So that's not considered living with a partner because they not really together. They just smashed and had a baby. Questions that need answers. But they have family coming in soon. Shay will be bringing her sister. Josh will be bringing his high school friend. Taronda lets them know, y'all got one more date before y'all leave here, sort of like the very first one. But until the end, leave the boom boom room alone. Let the boom boom room air out and get some space, okay? So next we see Chris and Sandia. They're going on a date, and it's a surprise for her. Now, this would just be really sweet if it wasn't a date by Chris, because Chris has just been terrible this entire time that it's really nothing that he can do at this point that would make me change my mind about the type of man that he is. But he ends up taking her horseback riding. Sandia, in my opinion, at first does not look that interested and excited, but she says horse riding has been on her bucket list. Okay. She says that Chris isn't good at communication, but he is great at listening. Sandia girl, you do realize listening is a form of communication? Okay, girl. But the horse ride leads to a picnic, and he asks her if she is leaving with him or by herself. He asks her if this is something that she sees long-term despite his ways, and she's just smiling, and she's like, well, you're working on them, right? Sandia, again, if you like it, I love it, girl. At this point, if you believe him, that is all that matters, because the rest of us see straight through all of this, all right? He asks her plans once she gets back home. She's like, I just want to get back in my routine, going to the gym. I got to go to work. He tells her that he doesn't want her to work. I'm assuming if they're in a long-term relationship, marriage, whatever. But Sandia has a goal of becoming a nurse. And when he said he didn't want her to work, I said, all the control is now coming together and the puzzle pieces are fitting perfectly. He don't think your feelings valid. He don't think women make good decisions. He don't want you to work. Like, he really wants to have all the control, as if you are a child that needs a parent to guide them and teach them. You are dealing with another adult, Chris. You don't need to have this level of control over them or belittling them to the extent that you have done to Sandia in the short amount of time we have seen it. Like, Sandia, again, the flags are waving all in your face. You like it. Y'all know the rest, okay? Back at the house, Dr. Allie is meeting with nail polish Aaron and Diamond. Aaron tells her that, being with Diamond in the house, they have gone through some things. Y'all have put yourself through some things. Let's correct that, okay? He says because he's the oldest in the house, these are like his kids. I say, Aaron, bye. You have probably been the messiest person in this house, which screams immaturity, but yet they're the kids in the house and you think you are the elder just because of age. That's not how none of this works, okay? Diamond says they really need to mature, and Dr. Allie's like, so y'all been in there giving advice, huh? Yeah, advice that nobody has asked for, Dr. Allie. She asks about the visit from Diamond's sister and the drama with that. She asks how that has impacted the relationship with Diamond and her sister going forward. And she's basically like, I just plan to keep the both of them separate and have separate relationships with them. With all the friction they have had, they said it's brought them closer together. And again, I guess even though most of the friction was not related to the relationship of y'all, it was related to y'all being in other people's business all the time. But whatever, Dr. Allie says don't use the drama to get them closer, and they move on. And this was pretty much a surface level conversation from what we saw. It's now Josh and Shay's final date. They will go get their matching tattoos. Child, I guess I'm fine with it as long as it's no names and it's something basic that, you can say could mean something else or you can cover up. Have fun. Have at it, guys. But we see that they decided to get a yin yang tattoo, basically with a lunar and a soul to represent the both of them. It's generic enough that when y'all break up, you can tell people it means something else and they'll buy it, okay? Millie and Greg are going out for a romantic dinner for Greg's birthday. Millie says that things have really been going well, and she will see if there's longevity in this relationship. They talking about their age because Greg is turning 32 today. Millie is already 32, and she's really kind of just discussing the timeline of her wanting to have kids and what that looks like, because as y'all know, I think probably when you hit your early to mid 30s, they start talking about advanced maternal age and geriatric pregnancies and all this. So that's something that as women, we really have to think about. While they're at dinner, everybody else is helping to decorate for Greg's party at the house. That's everybody except Aaron and Diamond. Go figure. Back with Millie and Greg, she says she really came here planning to leave with Greg, and Greg is really using this opportunity to show that he really cares about her. So although it's his birthday, he is the one giving out the gifts, and he gives her a saltwater pearl necklace and says that he's ready to be exclusive with her. It's now time for Millie and Greg to get back to the house. Everybody's getting ready to surprise him. Aaron and Diamond playing pool, but everybody else ready to surprise him. He comes in, they yell surprise. Greg says this is like a family. He hasn't had this in a long time. Child, it's only been like 2 weeks, but okay, Greg. They end up, I guess, playing a game for the night where they have buzzwords for the night, which the buzzwords were Greg. They couldn't mention anything sexual, and saying Diamond, which is essentially just for Aaron. If they do any of these things, say any of these things, they have to take a shot. Y'all heard what I just said. They said if anything sexual, take a shot. The next thing is they decided to play sex-like games. Fingernail polish Aaron and Diamond excused themselves because they like, this is where we call it a night. And this is one time I did not blame them, because I would have been like, it's been fun, y'all, but I'm going to bed, okay? But they play a game where Jody has to sit in the chair with her booty tooted up, and Aaron has to ground on her from the back. Jody basically says if you have not had sexual experiences with your partner and you do this, this can either make or break the decision to have sex. And from the look of her face, it would break the decision of having sex with Aaron. Next, we see Josh give Shay a lap dance, and then Chris dares Jody to kiss Sandia. Sandia lets us know that Chris knows this is not her thing. She don't do this. She don't get down like this. But she says, because it was just a game, I'll do it. No, girl, that's an added notch of the disrespect that he has shown you this whole time, that he knows this is something that you would not like, but then he dares Jody to do it. Sandia. They play another game with these that looks like Jenga blocks that's on a table, and says that whoever knocks them over has to walk around the house naked. Aaron looks like Earring Aaron, not other one. Earring Aaron looks like he knocked it over on purpose, so he goes running around the house naked. Jody flatters herself and says that she is like the fire and Aaron is like a moth to the flame. Girl, what? She really thinks this man, yes, he definitely has probably more feelings for her than she has clearly for him. But girl, he ain't acting like he wants you like that. So cut it out. But she says she needs to decide what she needs to do for Aaron, but she does not want to hurt him. Jody, you have said that I don't know how many times at this point, and just because you keep saying it does not mean you're not going to hurt him. Just continuing to string him along is going to hurt him. Like, she continues to say things like that when she's in confessionals by herself. And then when she's in front of other people, she's acting like, yeah, you know, it's potentially a future. I do like him. The kiss was all right. Like, stop lying. It's getting old at this point. We have come to the end. Just tell the truth. It's now the next day. Everyone said they had a great time at the party the previous night. So now it's time for Shay's sister to arrive. And child, when Shay's sister walked in there, first of all, when Shay walked downstairs, I said, Shay ready for the club, ain't she? It looks like it's still, you know, the sun just came up, but she looks to be ready for the club. And her sister comes in like, I'm coming to pick you up and we both going to the club tonight, okay? Anyway, they catch up outside, and when Shay says, "You remember Josh, right?" the sister is like, "No. Y'all been talking for 12 years and you have not even mentioned this man's name, Josh, often enough that your sister knows who you talking about. You playing in our face, Shay." But she says again, this, was just a little online thing, just on and off. So I didn't really tell my family like that. Okay, that still sounds crazy. But she tells her sister she thinks she's in love. The sister asks if she thinks she'll marry him. She says yes. And I was like, well, is the sister drunk or did they just edit this? But the sister act like she was completely cool with Shay saying that. And I don't know about y'all, but if my sister said that about some man I did not know that she had been talking to on and off for 12 years, I'd be looking at her sideways like, what you mean? You love him and you might marry him. Say what now? Say what? But she tells her sister about the tattoo, and then she pulls Josh outside to meet her. Again, I think the sister had just a little too much to drink because these questions just ain't questioning how Shay acted like her sister was going to be all in Josh's grill. Josh tells her that the marriage is coming, and the sister's like, I smell BS. Y'all been together a long time. It's been 12 years. Why are you so cool with this if you just did not know who this man was a few minutes ago? It'd be different if Shay talked about him all the time. You maybe talk to him via FaceTime all the time. But you act like you didn't even know who this man was by name. But now you like, when are y'all getting married? But Josh tells her, that he thinks Shay is the one. Because he just feels so natural with her and they just get along so great. Josh's friend Warren then shows up, which he says is more like a brother to him. He tells Warren that they have really been enjoying their time together. Warren asks about next steps, and he is telling him that they may be moving to Texas at the same time that Shay is telling her sister that they may be moving to Texas as well. She asks her sister if she thinks that she is making the right decision, and the sister is like, yeah, he cool. I like him. I approve. I'm just going to say the editing of this show is trash because the storyline, the things that are happening just sometimes don't make no sense. Anyway, the girls go inside. Shay and her sister meet Warren. They exchange like 5 words, y'all, and then it's time for them to go. Next up, we see Aaron and Diamond go on their final date, which is a wine tour. And Aaron says Diamond has no idea what is about to take place as they are touring the vineyard. But he takes them, the guy that's driving the little golf cart is taking them to a place where it's her favorite flowers, which are white tulips, some candles, and of course more wine. Aaron starts this whole speech. Diamond and her baby hairs can already see where this is going. And you can see her already be like, oh my God, he's finna ask me to marry him. And fingernail polish Aaron gets on one knee and does ask her to marry him. Now, Diamond said earlier that she was drinking a little bit of wine because of all the stress in the house and she don't really drink like that. So I don't know if she was really buzzed, but she just cries and she doesn't say anything. Diamond, we don't need all the dramatics, honey. You can just go ahead and say yes. And then as y'all have been spilling the tea on the internet, we'll then find out y'all are no longer together, child. But next week is the season finale. Thank you, baby Jesus. But then at the end of the episode, we found out that Josh's friend Warren actually passed away. So R.I.P. Warren, prayers and thoughts to your family. But man, I was like, gosh, that's so sad. He seemed like such an easygoing guy when he was talking to Josh. And Josh definitely seems like he needs somebody in his corner that can give him good advice and direction. But we'll be back here next week, y'all, for the last episode. And I am so excited. I don't need no reunion or nothing from this crew. Let's just get this last episode out of the way. And I never thought I would say it. Let's bring back Ready to Love, okay? Or put a ring on it, huh? Bring that back, because this the Never Ever Mets. We never ever needed it, all right? But let me know what y'all thought about the episode this week. And I'll catch y'all next week. Peace.